This evening, the Sioux Falls City Council discussed a possible change when it comes to the city's official newspaper. Parker Brown was there. He's in studio now with our 10 o'clock top story. Parker, hello.
Hello, Brian. A city's official newspaper plays an important role, publishing legal notices and city council minutes. A strong partnership with a publication is important to keeping the public informed. The official paper in Sioux Falls has been the Argus leader for a long time, but a new publication was in the running.
The Dakota Scout began operating in 2022, and now that they are more than 1 year into operation, they're eligible to be considered for the official newspaper role. South Dakota News Media Association Executive Director David Borderwyk says that a new publication challenging a current official paper is not very common.
It's really kind of a unique situation now where you have sort of this fairly new publication of record competing with a newspaper that's been around for well more than 100 years. I think it's something perhaps we will see more of. The news publishing business is changing. You are seeing these upstart publications, new publications showing up in other communities.
Council members David Barranco and Sarah Cole sponsored a resolution to switch the official paper to the Dakota Scout, citing cost savings for the city. There were other factors to weigh in making the decision.
Their current legal newspaper of record has record low readership. We're growing. We feel like the public will be more informed if the public notices are in our newspaper.
With a unanimous vote, the Dakota Scouts succeeded in their efforts to enter into a role as the sole publisher of record. It's a new responsibility that they say they're ready for and will not take lightly.
We understand that city business can't proceed without proper public notice. That's not lost on us. We have systems in place to ensure a seamless transition to the Dakota Scout. We're fully aware of what's at stake with legal public notices.
The Dakota Scout will not only get a financial benefit from their deal to publish official records for the city, but they get the benefit of more eyes on their work.
I think just in many respects sort of enhances your role within the community as a publication. People know to turn to that publication. They will see those notices, those meeting minutes and so forth that are in your publication. And that carries a responsibility, but it also carries readership with it too.
Now, the change in publisher of record will go into effect on July 1st and will be in effect for 1 year. Brian?
Parker Brown here at 10. Parker, thank you.